Yeah, we just watched the tape here, Paul. We're in the meetings with the players right now. Like I said yesterday, in order to improve the passing game, and I'd say that was the number one thing we needed to improve from yesterday. As a collective, everybody's got to be, doing exactly the right stuff. So it's not all on one guy. There's multiple reasons why, certain plays didn't, come out the way we wanted them to come out, and we'll continue to do that.
So Russ remains the starter moving forward?
Yeah, we're working through, all personnel decisions, and we'll do that over the next few days.
Thank you.
Dan Duggan.
Hold on, so you're not saying Russ is the starter, right? You're saying you're still working through that?
Yeah, we're doing what we normally do, which is, watch the tape. We're just watching it with the players right now. So, we'll have staff meetings after this, but when we come in, we watch the tape, offense, defense, kicking game as a staff, and then we go meet with the players. That's where we're at right now.
When you say what you normally do, most Monday afternoons, who your quarterback's going to be the upcoming week if everyone's healthy, though. It just seems a little different, your responses.
Yeah, well, look, we're going through the tape right now. We're evaluating everything.
So quarterback change is on the table.
I'd say we're evaluating everything.
Just a reminder to...
When would you like to have a decision on who's going to start quarterback?
Yeah, I'm not saying who's starting or who's not starting, Dan. I'm just saying we're evaluating everything right now. We're going through the tape from yesterday, and we're evaluating, every position right now.
Charlotte Carroll.
Hey, Dibs, how's it going?
Hey, Charlotte.
When you're looking at this tape, I guess, what would stand out or what would you see that would force you to make a change at QB?
Yeah, well, I'm going through the pass game right now, or talking about it with you, and there's a number of things from a protection to routes to throws to reads. We have to do a better job collectively to improve the pass game. We had one good game throwing the football, and then yesterday we took a step back and need to improve in that area.
Thank you.
Yep.
Evan Barnes.
Hey, Ryan.
Evan?
When you look at the red zone again, this is the third straight game you guys have struggled in there. When you're looking at the tape, what commonalities are you seeing that have made this such an ineffective situation for you guys?
I'd say a number of things. We wanted to go into the game being able to run the football down there, and we did on that one with Scat, and then we got the penalty when we went fast after the one play to Wandell, and we just we got to do a better job down there overall collectively in the drop back part of the passing game in the red zone.
And when it comes to that, you've obviously, we saw Dart play 2 plays in a row yesterday. Is that more of an, regardless of what you're doing as far as you're evaluating everything, but do you foresee possibly using more of that as an option as far as when you're in the red zone, the passes aren't working? That's got to be another option you consider a little bit more?
Yeah, I'd say we got to look at every option to improve down there. We've been down there a fair amount, and the results haven't been there.
And in that case, I think I saw a stat where I think Russell's thrown either 18 or 20 passes in the red zone. I'm curious with that, with the struggles you guys have, do you see more of a need that maybe you need to maybe mix things up so that way, Russ isn't throwing as many passes given how much he has struggled in the red zone?
Yeah, I'd just say we have to do everything better down in the red zone, Evan. Again, we've been down there a fair amount, and we have to do a better job collectively, everybody, coaching, playing, everybody.
Thank you.
Yep.
Tom Rock.
Brian, just a couple injury ones real quick.
Yep.
Tyrone and how did Andrew come out of the game?
Andrew came out good. Tyrone's got a shoulder. I'll get more information on it later today.
Do you expect Andrew to be a full game?
Well, it's only Monday, so we'll see as the week goes on.
And then just to get back to the quarterbacks. If Russ doesn't start, would it? Do you have one option there or two? I mean, is Jameis on the table?
Yeah, like I said, we're going through the tape here. We do this every week. But you talk about personnel. We'll have our personnel discussions here after the meeting with the players.
Jordan Renan.
Hey, Brian.
Jordan?
You've talked a lot about Jaxson and having different checkpoints, and that you want him to hit before you put him in, and before he's able to play and start. Has he checked off all the boxes for you? Like, has he done has he reached all those checkpoints that you would feel confident of making that decision, if that's the decision you make, to go with him?
Well, we put him in the game for the last 2 weeks, so we wouldn't put anybody in the game we don't feel confident with.
And then, I mean, you keep saying this, you go through this every week. Do you go through this process of deciding who your starting quarterback is every Monday after watching?
Well, we go through the process of evaluating the personnel and having conversations about the personnel. Every position, every week.
Is changing quarterback something like, where does ownership factor into that conversation? Yeah. And do they factor into the equation of, if you do make this decision and do decide to go to Jaxson or Jameis or stick with Russell, whatever it is, where do they have input in? Or are you talking to them about that specifically?
Yeah, well, look, whether it's the quarterback, the defensive tackle, the receivers, I'm not saying there is, I'm not saying there isn't. We're going through a process of what we normally do, talk about personnel, and I'm not saying one way or the other what it's going to be. So we'll cross that bridge later today.
Charlotte Carroll.
I think I asked you this last week, but just kind of wanted to follow up again. Of what benefits do you see putting in Dart for those couple snaps here or there? I guess how that helped him, or what you can gain from that.
Well, he was in for a pass and a couple runs this week. So the pass, they played a good coverage for that play design, and he scrambled, and he handed it off twice on reads. Did his job.
Thank you.
Yep.
We have time for a couple more, if there are any. Last two, Steve Wino.
Brian, I'm curious about Cam Scatterbill. Like, what did you think, if he's got to take on a sort of a bigger role, what do you think he's sort of capable of?
Look, I've said this before. Cam is he's a good young player to coach. He runs hard. He knows, he makes few mistakes relative to understanding the schematics of things. Instinctive player, and made the most of his opportunity yesterday.
Last one, Dan Duggan.
Sorry.
That's okay.
One injury with Gano. It seemed like he probably missed time with the groin injury as a kicker.
Yeah, most of these guys that got dinged up in the game are, whether they're getting MRIs now or, in the city doing different things. So, I know it was sore. That's what I do know yesterday. I know they're getting it looked at. I'll let you guys know on Wednesday when I hear it.
And then my last one is kind of a similar question with Jordan asked, but who is involved? Because it's not changing a defensive tackle. I think you can acknowledge that if you were to change quarterback. So do you sit down with Joe and ownership, or is this strictly your decision? Whose final say is if you are going to make a change or not make a change? Yeah, we have conversations every day. But at the end of the day, I'll sit down with Joe, like I do with all the players, coaches, talk about the game. Hey, this is where this guy's at. I think we need to create some competition and put another player in there. Here's where this guy's at. Really wasn't good enough. Or, hey, there was a few mistakes here. This is what we need to clean up. This is what we need to clean up on our end as a coaching staff. Those are normal conversations, I'd say, every day. Have you met with Russ this morning, today at all?
Yeah, well, I just had a team meeting. So I'll go in the quarterback room like I normally do. Shay and Kafka are in there with those guys. Go say hello to them, see how they're feeling. But we just had a team meeting, lasted about a half hour. That's normally what we do.